episode of the Hats Off podcast. I'm your host, Noah.
And I'm your host, Liam. And this week we're doing Heat. Written and directed by Michael Mann.
So, Liam, since this is your movie, this is your week, why don't you let us know, give us a little insight as to why you chose Heat?
I'll tell you the first reason. I see a lot of Dark Knight in this movie.
Okay.
So I think he was really inspired by a lot of what happened in this movie, like how accurate the heists were and all that, and like how meticulous things were. So I really wanted to, because eventually we will do Dark Knight. I kind of want to build up to that point.
Okay.
So I also just love this movie. I love the dichotomy between the two characters. Obviously, Pacino and De Niro, total legends. You know, in their right minds, like they are perfect in both roles. I mean,
yeah.
If you wanted to switch them out, that's something to talk about.
It's kind of like,
but it's
the opposite of roles they usually play.
Yeah.
In a sense, I guess, because I don't really like De Niro. I feel like De Niro usually plays the good guy.
Yeah.
And Pacino, with like Scarface, with Dog Day Afternoon, he's the bad guy in those.
But he can also be a good guy where he's like Serpico.
Yeah.
And then in this one where he's like he's just like balls to the wall detective cop type guy. But he also has his outbursts, which are really awesome.
Yeah.
Like his little and they talk about it sometimes in the commentary about that he was supposed to be a cocaine head.
In this movie?
Yeah, but they left that out to be a little more ambiguous. But coming off some scenes, you can kind of see it. But yeah, I picked it because of those reasons. I really want to get more into Michael Mann, and this is the only movie that I think this is the only movie I've seen of him.
Okay.
So, yeah, and also just stay in
the 90s,
in the 95s.
So with The Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. This is, like I was telling you earlier, this is only the second time I've seen this movie. Definitely a lot enjoyable now watching it again. I think maybe it was because I broke it up over 2 days. I watched like the first hour and a half, and then I watched the rest of it. But I definitely more enjoyable this time around.
Yeah.
So yeah, want to start us off?
Yeah. So some things to get going. I mean, the starting off the heist is just so well crafted. Like,
yeah,
it's just something that you look at it and it's like a symphony.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Tom Sizemore.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Ever since
Reservoir
Dogs, when he was first in that.
That was one of my notes. Is that the cast is just remarkable.
The cast is
even
sick.
Like you look at actors like Jon Voight, who has such a small role in it. Natalie Portman, who was, she was up and coming at the time.
I think she was like 13 or 14. She was coming
after Leon.
Yeah, because Leon was 89. She was like 9 or 10 in that one.
Leon was not 89. I don't think. It was like early 90s.
I'll find out.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
But going back to the heist scene, one of the main reasons I love that is that they're not going for money. They're not looking for money.
Yeah.
They were looking for the bonds from that. What's
Gus
the guy?
Van Sant. Not Gus Van Sant, but it's Van Sant.
Richard or
something Van Sant is the guy's name.
Yeah, which is William Fichtner's character.
Yeah.
I just like that they were looking for something that was not like the classic. Oh, it's cash. It's something that they could resell in a later market for a higher value. Like they're thinking in terms of those types of specifics. Roger Van Sant.
Yeah.
They're thinking that in terms of those specifics. That really kind of elevates the. Okay, so Leon was in '94. I'm sorry.
So a year after.
Yeah. Okay.
But
yeah, it really elevates. The heist really elevates. They were meticulous. And they blew the right size hole open. Like they were gonna kill those guys.
Yeah. But
like I said, once they killed the one, they killed the second because he attacked, and the third to have no living witnesses. They're pros. So I really like that.
Yeah. I did like how they try with Macaulay, Robert De Niro's character. I did like how he wanted he didn't want to kill anybody. But he knew that once they killed 2 people, then they've already gone this far. They might they've gone to the point of no return. They might as well just finish them off.
Right.
The only thing I didn't I took a note about that scene was I feel like it was kind of unrealistic how there were no cars or anything that was passing by them at the whole time.
Mm.
And I don't know if you noticed too that when the ambulance was turning around and the Brinks truck stopped, and then the driver turned and he saw the truck coming towards him.
Mm.
Like he had a lot of time to like make him move, and he kind of just stood there.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just some things I thought.
I think because the big truck was blocking the way, some people just saw it as like a diversion and just didn't go down the road. Because the big truck was so like far in the middle of the road that I feel like people just wouldn't.
What big truck?
The one that they hit the
Brinks
with.
Yeah. All right.
I thought it was covering the road to an extent that people were just like, I'm not even gonna bother going down that. Like, you think about it, like LA traffic, people are probably like, fuck that, I'll take another road. So that's the only justification for that nitpick.
Yeah.
In terms of like the truck not getting fast enough out of the way, I could see that.
I mean,
these are
just like nitpicks. Like I just,
no, yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
fine.
Yeah. So, and then another nitpick, you know, and it's not me, like, because I did enjoy the movie. It's just things I noticed is, I don't really like how, like, I feel like there was a lot of like subplots and a lot of like characters.
I was gonna say that too.
To juggle with this movie.
Yeah, the Allstate guy. The Allstate guy, the big black dude.
Yeah.
He was one of those kind of throwaway plots.
Yeah.
Like I get what you're saying. That's one of the things that I didn't like about it. Yeah. Like I was like, why am I adding 50 minutes to the movie when it could be 2 hours?
Yeah. But then the point I made after that was because the whole point of the movie is, you know, trying to outrun the heat from the cops.
Yeah.
And making sure that, like Robert De Niro's character says, make sure there's nothing personal in your life that you can't leave behind if the cops are out. Right. And I guess it's just supposed to highlight all the personal sides of all these characters.
Yeah.
So that was what I was thinking.
Yeah. So the only thing that I would say to justify adding those plots is think about it like in a storyline. Like they go so far out of their way to build up these characters. Like, you know, De Niro doesn't want a girl, he gets Edie, you know, like they have all these side stories that really build them up. Even like the people that are in the cops that are in Pacino's crew kind of get a backstory. You know, you get that guy's wife and you get the black dude that hangs out with the other girlfriend at the end. You know what I mean? Like I think so for the guy with the Waingro, with the long hair, and then the Allstate dude. Yeah. With these two side plots, like the Waingro guy killed the prostitute, the Allstate guy is struggling at this new job that he got after having parole. Yeah. I think that they're building them up to kill them off to show that these guys are going to do anything they can to do what they said in the diner scene. They're not going to stop because they love what they do. That's all they know how to do. Yeah. And they're not going to stop until they get what they want, and they won't let anybody get in the way. So like that black dude, the Allstate guy, he was there only to be conveniently in that diner so that they could use him as a throwaway driver. Like they had to know with all the guns that they had that he could have died. You know. Yeah. The Waingro guy. Really, just to show that. Well, no, because the Waingro guy is a big part of the movie. He's not really a throwaway plot. No, the only plot that's throwaway from him is like the killing of the prostitute. Yeah, like that didn't add anything other than the fact that he's a piece of shit. Yeah, but no, I think definitely like you don't. I think a lot of people probably don't expect his character to have that big of a role. Yeah, you know, because I mean he eventually snitches on them, right? It's just which is why they get caught at robbing the bank, which I want to jump into after, right? And then you know, he ultimately is the reason that De Niro's character doesn't escape, right? And then De Niro's character eventually dies, right? So like tie it back into the fact that they'll do anything to get their way. They'll go through anybody to get their way. But that Waingro actually he does come back to bite him at the end because he can't let that go. So, and then so then I wanted to jump into the when they rob the bank, and after they rob the bank, that shootout scene on the street. Yeah, I honestly that might probably be one of the best shootout scenes in film in terms of accuracy, like gun accuracy. I mean, it's just like explosive. Yeah, like they're just firing rounds like all over the place. Yeah. You know, you got
they're running up the street, got cops coming from all angles.
Right. There's civilians in the way getting shot. They're in the storefront, like with people like. Pacino kind of uses somebody as like human bait. Honestly, like he puts somebody. He like honestly, I saw that he like kind of put somebody in front a little bit.
Yeah.
Which he's he's not supposed to be the most likable character.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be like this asshole cop that he's throwing away his marriage to get to these guys. But yeah, I agree. That scene, and it really reflects on like the tension that the whole movie kind of promotes.
Yeah.
You know? Like that, we don't get that scene until however 2 hours in.
Yeah, about
an hour
2 hours.
and 45 in. So it's like everything builds up to that. And I also think that like it's a lot about pacing because you have like these really long, elongated but very calm scenes. Mm-hmm. With De Niro talking to Edie or Pacino.
Pacino with his wife.
Yeah, or Pacino like in the helicopter, or Pacino just driving around, like scoping things out. Like they're in the truck.
Yeah.
They're looking. They go to the shipyard.
Yeah.
A lot of these scenes are very elongated and slow, and then once you get to that point, it's just like, all right, now we need to pay attention because things are gonna happen. People are gonna die. So I like that scene. Very, very well shot too. Like they probably cut like close down like 3 or 4 blocks in LA to get that shot. Because that would look really real. So
I do like too. I like how after they were in the streets and then De Niro and Val Kilmer, his character, they end up going to like the parking lot, I guess, to the grocery store, and that kind of reminded me of the ending in The Town.
Yeah.
When
yeah. When Renner's in the...
When Renner's getting tailed by John Hamm.
Yeah, that did seem similar to that situation.
Yeah, and then ultimately then in the shootout in Heat, I like how they ended it with Tom Sizemore getting shot. Because I feel like you can't, like, for a scene like that, for how explosive it is, it has to end with a bang. It has to end with, like, them getting arrested, or, like, with The Town, too. Like, Jeremy Renner's character that scene ends with...
Spoilers.
Yeah, obviously. That scene ends with Jeremy Renner getting killed by the cops. Same in this movie with Tom Sizemore. Yeah,
so you could tell that to the Game of Thrones writers. So, you got the battle of Winterfell and this huge battle and no one dies.
Well, a lot of people die, but not like the main characters.
Right.
A lot of like the throwaway plots, like we were talking about.
Right, but if you had...
Like if the Allstate guy, if he was the only death in this scene, that would be the same thing.
Yeah.
As how it was.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, really love that scene. Let's see what else.
I did notice something with Natalie Portman. So she's 14 in this movie.
Yeah.
She has very unique and very pronounced emotional reactions that very developed early.
Yeah.
Like when in the beginning of the movie, when she's complaining about being late to like dance practice or whatever, all I saw was Padme complaining to Anakin at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
That's all I could see. Like it's very exactly the same reaction to her being late for dance as Anakin turned to the dark side. It's just like, I mean, she's just an iconic actress at such an early age that it was like she developed her craft, and hats off to her for
hats off.
Hats off.
Well, didn't she win an Oscar for Leon? Did she win one for Leon? She might have. Either way, she's coming off that, so I mean
that's a year before.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because she looks way younger in.
Yeah, she looks ridiculously younger in Leon.
She did not.
I feel like, but like her role, I don't really see. If you want to like explain it, like
she didn't even get nom for
Leon.
Yeah, she won for Black Swan.
I don't really know what her role was in this movie. I feel like her character could have just been thrown away.
Like I think it adds to the aggravation of the family. Like it further aggravates Pacino's character because when he's in the diner and he's like, I got a stepdaughter. It's so fucked up. I got a fucked up marriage.
Yeah. I guess that it's just like it's just part of the highlighting all these main characters personal side. Like,
yeah, and I mean, she's just a good like two-scener. You know,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
but yeah, like I said, like it adds an emotional weight to Pacino leaving the family. I mean, even if Natalie Portman doesn't give a shit about Pacino, she's still, you know, is kind of fucked up and just adds to his aggravations. You know, so
I guess too, because I think Pacino cares about the dog. As even though Pacino's marriage is fucked up,
yeah,
like he does care about her.
Yeah,
even
yeah,
though he's like it's her stepdaughter.
Yep.
Another thing I liked about this movie too is I like how, I mean, yeah, it's a long movie, but you know, for like the majority of the movie, like these two characters, Macaulay and Hannah, Vincent Hanna,
yeah.
They know who each other are, and they know it's a game of cat and mouse essentially. Like they like, especially like we talked about the when they go to the port. And like De Niro and his crew go there first, and then they're getting tailed by the cops, and the cops go there only to realize that it's just a setup, just confirmation, that they're getting tailed.
And you could see at that point, Pacino has this admiration in his eyes.
Yeah,
he's almost in love with this dude because he wouldn't like consider him to be someone that like kind of addicted to the thrill as much as the whole team.
I can see that.
You know, he's addicted to the thrill. He loves the thrill almost more than his wife.
Yeah.
So like when he sees that De Niro tricked him out, he's got like this like awestruck face that he's like, damn, I could leave my wife for this shit. You know what I mean? And he's done it 3 times because he said in the diner he's on his 3rd marriage. Yeah. So, you know, as long as De Niro is alive and working, this guy is never going to have a consistent marriage. He's always going to be off and doing this stuff. And he's probably going to gravitate towards it and be more entertained by it, you know?
And his wife said, too, is like, you are what you're chasing.
Exactly.
So the more, like, the more difficult or smart of a criminal he's chasing, like, the better off he probably is.
Oh, I just thought of this, too. And, you know, Portman's character brings him back to Earth because, you know, he stayed in the hospital for 90% of that whole thing. Yeah. The last 10% was because they got him. You know what I mean? And he left because he was like, at this point, I'm gonna get him. This is it. Yeah. So she was able to bring him down from that. So, you know, it kind of gave him like a sense of like morality, a sense of humility to bring him down. And, you know, if the wife cheating on him wouldn't do it, then the near death of his stepdaughter would. So I like that.
I felt like he was kind of like nonchalant though. He's like, when he thought that Macaulay got away, because he was like, I'm gonna go buy a hotel room, crawl into bed, and sleep for a month. Just like, oh, he's got away.
Oh yeah, I remember that scene too.
You know, it's kind of like he's done it so many times. Yeah. He's kind of like yeah, he is what he chases, but he's also just like, another one got away. But also, it might be him. It might be him being okay with that because he knows that this guy's always out there.
Right.
He's always going to be in the back of his mind.
Right, and it almost reinforces the idea of, you know, when they're in the diner and he says, if I gotta be the one to put you away, I'm not gonna like it. You know? Yeah. And he's like, I don't want to do this because I like doing this.
They have an admiration for each other.
Yeah, it's a parasitic relationship that no one really wins, except for the fact that they're always chasing something. You know, De Niro wants to go to live in New Zealand, and Pacino just wants to do this forever because even if he's married 3 or 4 more times, he's never gonna be happier than chasing after the guy that he just like is in admiration of. Right when he first comes to the crime scene in the beginning with the truck and everything, it's like I said, it's a symphony. From his point on, he's got 4 or 5 different cops next to him and detectives that he's rolling through, and he's like,
it reminds me of William Dafoe in Boondock Saints.
Yes.
That's what, because he just like gets in he gets into the character, he gets into like the scene.
Yeah, kinda. He gets in the zone.
It's also, it could be like for Al Pacino's character, like chasing these bad guys, that's his life, and the marriages are just his jobs, kind of. You know, if they just fill the void.
Right. The only thing that he's good at and that he loves is the chase. Yeah. But the job that he actually has to like
the job
lock in for is his marriage.
Yeah. But like you said too, it could be like his grasp on normality or reality or whatever you want to call it.
Right. And yeah, like De Niro's like, like a normal life, like ball games and burgers and or barbecues, and you're like, no, I don't got a normal life.
Yeah. You're good at the impressions.
So I love the Pacino impression, especially later in his life, like after Scarface. Actually, no, sorry, after Godfather 2 and onward. He's got that kind of thing. Anyway,
I thought too. I liked De Niro's look with the goatee.
Yeah,
I thought that was really
clean.
Really clean.
And he was supposed to be like a Dr. Evil type of clean, where it's only gray suits, white shirt.
Oh, really?
You know, like he's got to be like this pure guy that has no real.
Yeah.
You know, like he detaches himself so much from having attachments that he won't even.
But he's so
allow himself to have a color.
He gets attached to that chick though.
Right. And
which is kind of funny.
Right. So.
Yeah.
I think that's because she was looking for him more than he was looking for her. You know what I mean?
She approached him. She approached him.
He's sitting at the diner and she wants to talk to him and she wants to bang him and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, he is so dedicated to that style of I can pick up and leave at any time that he won't even devote to any other type of. He won't even put furniture in his house.
Oh
he
yeah.
Won't change his clothes. It's always just a gray jacket, white shirt.
Yeah.
You know, so. He's devoted to the job. Yeah.
Well, he lives by his motto.
Right. And he says that quote 3 or 4 times. Maybe twice, but I think 3 times. He's like, if you smell the heat around the corner, you gotta be able to pick up and move. So. Yeah.
I liked. I don't know if you want to get like, what was your favorite scene from the movie? Your favorite moment?
I like the scene where they're all in front of like the electrical unit, and they're like after they got tailed and got like identified.
Yeah.
And De Niro's like, they got our numbers, they got our house numbers, they got our phones. They're probably tailing everything. Do not go home.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, he tells the dude he tells Tom Sizemore because he's got a family. He's like, you should get out of this now. Take your money and run. And he goes,
oh yeah.
He's like, this is what I'm here for. This is the thrill.
Yeah.
So he stays because. You know, and it ends up costing him, but I love that scene.
For some people, some people, it's. I mean, obviously we can't relate because we're not fucking bank robbing.
Right.
But yeah, for some people, I mean, this is more important than life itself.
Right.
It is just the thrill and the adrenaline, and I guess that's probably too why I mean, you see like people that are drug addicts because they're just addicted to that thrill.
Right.
And you know,
even gambling addicts.
Yeah, people get thrill out of many different things. So. I guess I can understand like the obsession with it.
Right.
I liked the scene where they were it's Kilmer and De Niro and they're robbing that like manufacturing plant or whatever.
Yeah.
And De Niro's outside and then all the cops and like Pacino and all the LAPD they're across the street in those box trucks.
Mm.
And then when one of the like the cops or whatever bangs the side of it, and then like De Niro just like locks eyes with like essentially like it's like he's looking at Pacino.
Yeah.
The way like they shoot it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that scene. A lot.
I really liked how they did the dichotomy of the two of them.
Yeah, they definitely. Though yeah, like you said, it's like kind of like with the Dark Knight too, the Joker and Batman.
Yep. And that's why I think The Dark Knight was probably inspired by this movie. I don't know how much.
Did you read that anywhere? Like,
no, I just felt like, honestly, just watching the opening scene.
Yeah.
Like, that is literally the opening scene of The Dark Knight. It's 10 minutes straight of heist. And it's meticulous heist. No words spoken. Mm-hmm. Until they get to the scene where they're like,
it's kind of just like side chatter.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then, like the dichotomy of the people, the pacing, I think the realism, like the realistic aspect of things, like Chris Nolan wants to be realism. Like this movie is shot in L.A. They don't hold back from it being L.A. It's LAPD. They get all this real stuff. So
I think I've definitely seen somewhere about how he wasn't a factor, like an influence to The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, Christopher Nolan has said like he wants The Dark Knight is a crime movie,
right,
or like an action movie. It's not a superhero movie.
Right.
So I definitely could see how like. Of all the movies, like it can relate to this movie really well.
Right. So, but let's talk about some side characters. So you got big names: Natalie Portman, Ashton Judd,
John Voight,
Val Kilmer,
Hank
Azaria.
Yeah.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo, yeah. This is
Tom Sizemore.
This is
the dude from Allstate.
Yeah. She probably has a name, so we might want to.
I think his name is Hayworth or something like that.
Yeah. It's Dennis Haysbert.
Yeah.
Ted Levine, who plays Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs.
Yep.
McKelty Williamson, who plays Bubba Blue.
Yeah.
And then, we got all the main guys.
Fichtner.
We already talked about Voight. And the guy who plays Waingro, Kevin Gage. I mean, he's not. Doesn't seem like he's too popular, but I mean, he gives a good performance in that. I think that's a good cast for.
He was the dude in Con Air, Billy Joe. I don't know. If you know what I'm talking about. He was in Blow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gives a pretty damn good performance.
I think for what's asked of him, I thought he did a good job. You know.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Another thing is the way that the weapons are used, like the sound of the gunshots. And this comes back to the street scene where they're all shooting, but like I've never seen like a prettier AR. Like you know what I mean? Like I never heard a better shot, than this. So the sound mixing, the editing, they're all up there. They're really, really good.
No nominations though.
No noms at all.
Or not even not for an Oscar. Like it didn't win anything. It has 14 nominations, but it hasn't won anything.
Oh, so these are all just
some like
those
are minor awards.
Damn. So
I guess maybe it's a movie that it's like it aged like fine. It's aged like wine or something.
Yeah.
Like it gets better over time.
I gotta give a hats off to De Niro's 90s. He had a run. Like we talked about Spacey's 90s.
Yeah.
That was good. But I mean, obviously, holy crap. Let me list them off. He started with well, actually, no. I'll start from the really beginning with the 90s. Okay, Goodfellas. Cape Fear. Bronx Tale.
Yep. Which I think he directed that too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Casino. Heat.
Yep.
Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Copland.
Yeah. Ronin. Flawless.
Analyze this. We're just listing off movies here. I mean, yeah, dude, but like De Niro is like he's like I mean, I'm sure
crazy.
You take any decade that he's been acted in since the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
And he's in like those like the classics from that decade.
Yeah.
Like he's in all like those. Like I mean, he's like him and Pacino, even Pacino. Like those two guys are.
Right.
Like your Marlon Brando.
74 and onward, this dude is the top of the world.
Those two.
So yeah, exactly. They got a great 70s. They had a great 80s.
Yeah.
We haven't even done a lot of Pacino movies like.
Haven't done any of these two.
No, yeah.
But it's crazy too though. I think about that, and then but De Niro hasn't won an Oscar since. I know he won for the Godfather 2, and then he won another one in I think he might have won another one in the 70s, but he hasn't won anything since. I'm thinking about like all the movies he's been in.
Yeah. Yeah, so he got nominated for Irishman. He won for Son of a Woman.
Oh, and Raging Bull.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about De Niro.
Oh, sorry.
Not Pacino. So yeah, the last time De Niro won was 81 for Raging Bull. And then Pacino too. He's got so many
Oscar noms.
Yeah.
Son of a Woman, Glengarry Glen Ross, Dick Tracy, and Justice for All, Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah.
Serpico. I forgot Serpico.
Yeah. Now you said Serpico earlier.
Yeah.
We were talking about it.
Wow.
Do you think I guess what movie do you think is better? Or like what movie is better, this or The Usual Suspects?
In terms of a whole movie, I think this one's better.
Okay.
In terms of endings, you can't really beat Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
So,
I guess if you have to rank them, like.
Oh well, yeah, I would do this one higher.
Okay.
But I would rather see this one in theaters. To be honest with you, if they had this come out on RPX, I'd see this.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear the sound. I want to see the full grasp of things. Like, it's like one of those movies. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Drive.
Yeah, I've seen Drive.
Like, where they have like LA is like one of the characters in the movie. Like, LA is very much a character in this movie too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of scenes where they have big wide shots. You know, they're in the helicopter a lot. They're driving around a lot.
They're on the cliffs and hills of LA.
Yeah, so
with the sunset and sun, or the sun rising or sunset. Yeah, sun.
Right. So it's something that the two opposite characters can share. They live in the same city and they run the same town, and I'm just a big fan of Pacino's little outbreaks. Like, he'll be, you know, and this movie was definitely an example of it. Like, say for example, like Godfather 2, like he's pretty much calm throughout, and then once Kay tells him that
I haven't seen that yet.
Fuck, never mind.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the Godfathers. I have to watch those.
Oh shit.
I know.
All right, never mind. Anyway,
it's all right. Yeah.
I'll take a different one. In Scarface, Scarface, the beginning of it, he's like an immigrant, and he's like low key. But once he starts getting hooked up with all the mob, you've seen Scarface, yeah. So and once he gets hooked up with all the Miami mobs and stuff, and he starts getting the cocaine, and he's like really like, starts yelling. He goes from 0 to 100 in like a second. That's my favorite Pacino.
I love when Pacino yells.
I love that. And then the diner scene, like, damn, dude, like they could have got up and fucking punched each other in the face if they hadn't cut that scene. Like if they had let that go for 5 minutes more, they would have got up and like fought.
Yeah.
The tension was so, you could feel the tension, like, and also you could see like in the beginning of the movie when Waingro, they sit down at the diner and Waingro comes in and he bangs his head on the table and everybody else is looking at him like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's when you think back and you're like, maybe De Niro could fucking kill this guy in this restaurant right now. You don't know. He doesn't give a shit.
He tried to, essentially. Yeah. Out in the parking lot.
Yeah. No, I mean De Niro and Pacino when they're in the diner. Like, I thought after seeing that scene in the beginning that De Niro had the capacity to kill him.
I never got the inclination that De Niro would try to kill. Like, he would if he had to, but like I feel like he didn't want to.
No, I don't think I just think that like he could have.
I mean,
because of seeing that in the beginning, like he doesn't care that there's people around,
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, so like
yeah.
Oh, okay, in that regard, then yeah.
But obviously, eventually they do get to that point, and that last sequence where they're at the airport is long, it takes forever.
In reality, it's like it's like 10. It's like not even a 10-minute scene.
Yeah.
But I do like how at the end, like they're holding each other's hands.
I think Val Kilmer had a very backseated role.
Yeah.
He didn't really shine. And
he just like kind of left, right? Like his character kind of just.
Once he cut his hair and got that new ID, passport, and everything.
Yeah.
I guess technically he was the only one that made out.
Yeah, but I mean.
Except Danny Trejo's character.
No, he died. Remember he died.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, yeah, but like, and this was a Pacino De Niro movie. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
You'd be like, I guess if you compare it to The Dark Knight, if it's like Pacino is, who would be?
Pacino is Batman or Christian Bale.
Yeah, I guess.
And
Macaulay is the Joker. Who would be Two-Face? Not Kilmer.
No, wait. So, in terms of the way that they act, Pacino is the Joker.
No, I'm saying like protagonist, antagonist.
Oh, all right, yeah. So,
because I mean, honestly, like I feel like De Niro's character is almost portrayed as a protagonist in the movie.
I think he is.
All right, yeah.
Even
though he's Robin,
the way that he acts, he's more Batman.
Yeah, he's like,
because in his mind, what he's doing is right.
He's calm.
People see him as like a criminal, but at the end of the day, he really is doing what he thinks is the best for him or best for you know what I mean? Like what he does best is what he does.
And De Niro does it, or Pacino does it for the thrill.
Bruce Wayne what he does best is stops criminals.
And Pacino does it because for the thrill of it.
Yeah.
Because he enjoys it.
But he also can fly off the edge, like the Joker. You know, like he has those outbursts. He could be more of the Joker type. So, although he's really rooting for justice, he is more similar to.
That's why it's tough. Yeah, because I mean, I guess for like at face value, I mean, just like if you're looking at like a bank robbery movie, you're like, but I guess the town too, like the antagonists are the protagonists, but yeah. So thank you for choosing this movie.
One last thing, $60 million budget, shitty opening weekend, $8 million, bad.
I mean, yeah, but movies didn't really do that well back then. In the 90s,
ended up grossing 67,000 domestic, 187 million.
Yeah.
International. So
that's not bad.
Maybe it was because it was a December release, and not a summer. It's more of a summer movie, blockbuster than in a December release, which
I guess it kind of toys that line. Because like you can make the argument that it's like a blockbuster movie, but you can also make the argument that it's like it's an award season movie because it fits both. Obviously, it hit neither mark, but yeah.
But good. What's next?
I have two movies in my mind, but I think because I don't think you've seen this movie yet. We're gonna do Black Klansman next week.
Okay.
You haven't seen that, right?
No.
All right. Because I know I've talked to you about it a bunch of times, and you keep saying you haven't seen it. So
okay.
We're doing Black Klansman next week.
All right.
All right.
We'll see you next week.